The great city began as a cluster of tradesmen's villages. Only the names remain unchanged.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Fortune Theory. So today I'm going to be talking about The French Dispatch, which is Wes Anderson's latest film.
You don't want to add a flower shop or an art museum? A pretty place of some kind?
I hate flowers.
And if you don't know who Wes Anderson is or the films he's made, he's most known for, as far as I know, Isle of Dogs and Fantastic Mr. Fox. They're his two main sort of stop-motion-like films compared to most of his films, which are mainly just completely live action, although his stop motion films, they're physically live action because they're only stop motion. They don't really contain any CG as far as I'm concerned, or animation as far as I'm concerned, but they're the films that have made the most limelight films possible. But you still may have seen films like the Grand Budapest Hotel he made back in 2014, and it's the first film I saw that he made, and it's still very much this style. His style has never really changed. A lot of people may not be aware of him because of why he tells stories the way he does. He's very known for his sort of symmetry in cinematography and that sort of almost slapstick comedy in some of his films, and how he goes about directing and telling a story through that style, basically. So The French Dispatch is a love letter to journalists set in a fictional 20th century French city, and it covers the story of three journalists reporting for the French Dispatch magazine, one of them being Tilda Swinton's character, who is the first journalist we are introduced to and meet.
Mr. Moses Rosenthaler, certainly the loudest artistic voice of his rowdy generation.
He's a very talented painter at a young age, but he ends up in jail, and another inmate becomes his art manager.
And his model for this is Léa Seydoux's character, who is also like his main prison guard. She's the prison guard for the rest of the prison, but she's sort of his almost love interest as well, and has a relationship with her as well. And it's part of the comedy of this story as well, and some of the drama and romance as well.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
And that goes on to go down a chain of events and a path that Tilda Swinton will explain. I won't go into spoilers for this film or any of these individual three stories, but I will just explain them briefly so you get an idea of what it is. And the second journalist, who is played by Frances McDormand, and she's covering the story of...
The kids did this. Obliterated 1,000 years of Republican authority in less than a fortnight. What do they want? Freedom. Full stop.
Timothée Chalamet's character, who is basically a French revolutionary working with this French girl, and they are basically just trying to rid of the Republican regime and the oppressive regime that is going on in the city, and she is helping him write his manifesto at the same time, and there's a whole sort of story going on within that as well. There's a bit of romance going on as well with different characters. There's a bit of drama, and each segment has its specific piece of comedy as well.
Is there a story in us for the people of Kansas?
Maybe.
Which just overall like ties the story together really well. And the third journalist, who is Jeffrey Wright, who is covering the story of a chef and...
Lieutenant Nescaffier. He is the great exemplar of the mode of cuisine known as police cooking.
May I interrupt with a question? Please, just permit me to dog-ear the page, mentally. Beg your pardon.
It doesn't stay on the path of the chef. It goes on to the kidnapping of the son from the family that the chef is currently working for, and the son who is captured by Edward Norton's character, and an entire like sort of constabulary working for him. And yeah, that's basically the three stories. There is much more detail I could go into with them, but I don't want this to be a spoiler review, but that's what you can kind of gauge from the trailers with this and the featurettes that you can get. But this story is very unique and very much Wes Anderson's style. And just like I said before, really, if you like his style, you will like this. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's an amazing film. It's definitely really good. I really love his style. His style is able to make me like a film even if I am not completely engrossed in the story, because I will definitely want to go watch this again, because it's, for me, some of the moments are quite convoluted, or maybe I'm just maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But either way, I definitely want to see this again. So overall, it's a really good film. It's very Wes Anderson, like I've said before. It's kind of new for him. He's not, as far as I know, he's only done this a couple of times, as far as I'm aware, gone into the sort of deep into like characters, talking about other characters, and like sort of a million plots into one without being overly complicated. But it's just his style, and you will understand that if you want to go and see it. Again, if you don't even like his style, it's still fun, it's still comical, it's still fun to watch and experience. But overall, if you do like it, definitely recommend it. It's got the Grand Budapest style if you enjoyed that. What makes this film and his style of filmmaking so unique. So before I end up blabbering for like half an hour about it, go watch it if you want to see it. It's enjoyable, it's fun, and it's well worth the watch. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, thanks very much for watching. I'll be talking about Last Night in Soho probably this Saturday. Go watch that as well on Friday. I'm interested to see what Edgar Wright's going to do this time. I know him for Hot Fuzz and, you know, Shaun of the Dead and that, basically. So I'm interested to see where he goes with this. It seems quite new for him, new style, but it's like his vision by the looks of it. So his idea of psychological thriller. So interested for that. But go watch The French Dispatch in cinemas now. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. Dislike it if you disliked it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the weekend. Bye-bye.